Hello, students, and welcome to your English language class. This is the second part of modals. In the earlier video, we have learned about modals, that modals are helping verbs and which are always accompanied with the main verb. Now, they express the mode or manner of the actions denoted in the main verb, and that is why they are known as modals. Modals. Okay. And the peculiar nature also we have learned in the previous video that modals are never used alone. They must have a main verb or principal verb with them. They have the same form throughout whatever the person and number of subject is, and they don't have infinites or participle form like you cannot write can driven. Now let us start with the next six modals. Now the seventh modal that we have is may. To express permission. Like for example, you may not go. When you are giving permission or when you are seeking permission from someone, then we must use may. And it's a formal way of seeking permission or giving permission. May I come in? To express possibility. He may come today. There's a possibility that he may come today or he may not come today. The road may be blocked due to the procession. To indicate a purpose. Like, for example, we eat that we may live. Now, why do we eat? We eat so that we may live. To express a wish, faith, or hope. May you live long. When you are wishing someone to live long, you must say, may you live long. May his soul rest in peace. So, you are hoping that his soul will rest in peace. Now, the second or the eighth modal that we have is might, past form of may. To express a suggestion. For example, he might join college. To express less possibility when you're not very much sure, he might win a prize. To express a purpose, he worked hard that he might live. Might is the past form of may. He said that Ram might come. Now, as we have already discussed that whenever we use direct indirect speech, then might will be used as the past form of may in indirect speech. The direct part was he said Ram may come. So in indirect speech, we'll write he said that Ram might come. Now to express permission, might I begin my lecture? To express guess, that might be the PN. Now let's read about must. To express compulsion, you carry out my orders. Here must is missing. You must carry out my orders. Whenever you are compulsing someone, then you must say that you must carry out my orders. To express determination, I must finish the work by next Tuesday at any cost. That is your determination. So must is used whenever you are expressing compulsion or whenever you are expressing determination of someone. To express some strong possibility, there must be some mistakes somewhere. So there's a strong possibility that there are some mistakes. To express obligation or duty, whenever you are expressing someone's obligation or duty, like you must follow orders of your seniors. So that is your duty or that is your obligation. Now, the next modal that we have is ought, followed by a to infinitive. We must always use ought with to. I mean, ought to. It's not only ought, it's always followed by to. To express moral obligations, duty, or desirability. For example, you ought to love your elders. That is our moral duty that we must love our elders. Then, how will we write? You ought to love your elders. The idea of obligation can also be expressed with should or must. However, ought to is used when a feeling of duty is involved. You see, students, हम ought to की जगह should और must भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं जब भी हम कोई obligation, कोई idea of obligation express करना चाहते हैं, कोई duty या कोई desirability यूज़ करना चाहते हैं. लेकिन ought to हम तब लगाएंगे जब एक feeling of duty उसके अंदर involved है. The negative form of ought to is ought not to. To express probability or to give advice. The person ought to be humble. So that was ought to. Now, dare. What do you mean by dare? When you are challenging someone for doing something impossible or which is not possible so easily. Like dare as a modal auxiliary means to be bold enough to try something. It is commonly used in interrogative and negative sentences. Let us see the example. Dare he fight with me? क्या उसकी हिम्मत होगी कि वो मुझसे लड़े? He dare not fight with me. That's an negative sentence. She does not dare speak to her father. That's also a negative sentence with dare in it. It does not take S in the third person singular in present tense. When it occurs without do, it takes an infinitive without to. He dare not do it. Okay. Uh, Now let us know about need. Need is used to express necessity in negative and interrogative sentences. It does not take S in the third person, singular, present tense, and takes for its objects an infinitive without to. Like, for example, he need not go. Need I go there? So, you see, you need not have wasted your time in gossips. Used to. Now, the next modal that we have is used to express past habit. I used to play in that playground when I was a child. Now you are expressing your past habit here. To express the existence of something in the past. There used to be an open ground long ago. So that was the existence of something in the past. Now this is a table for your modal verbs here. Now for ability, we can use the modal verbs can or could. Like for example, David can speak three languages. He could speak fluent French when he was 5. And for permission, we can use can, could, or may. Can I sit in that chair, please? Could I open the window? May I borrow your dictionary? Advice, if you are giving someone a piece of advice, then we must use should. You should visit your dentist at least twice a year. You should try to lose weight. An obligation or duty, must or have to. I must memorize all of these rules about tenses. You have to take off your shoes before you get into the mosque. And whenever you are showing possibility, then we can use the modals might, may, could, can. It looks nice, but it might be very expensive. Richard may be coming to see us tomorrow. So this is the table for your modal verbs, and you can have a fair enough idea where and how to use your modal verbs. Now, modal verbs for asking permission can, could, may, would. Let us just see. Whenever you are asking permission or whenever you're asking for a favor in an informal way, then you should use can. Like, for example, if you're asking for a pen from your friend, then you can say, can I borrow your pen for a minute? Can I speak to John Wilson? That's a more informal way of asking permission. And for being polite, we must use could in place of can. Could I please have a glass of water? Could I open the window? And if you are seeking permission in a more formal way from your seniors, from your teachers, then you should always use may. May I ask a question, please? May we go home now? So that's a more formal way of asking permission. And if you want to be polite, then we must always use would. Would you mind if I asked you something? So you see, this is the modal verbs for asking permission. Hope you have understood all about modals here. And if you've got any doubt, you can ask me in the group about modals. And here's your homework. You have to fair up all the content given in this video in your fair notebook. And you must submit your homework in the group by tomorrow evening. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this video.